Welcome back, guys. Next day here, we are back in the garage and we are not mucking around today. We have 5 days till this drift day and I've got to get this thing ready for it. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna install the rear brake lines because I need to get that in while the car is still on stands. And rear brake line, I'm gonna clean up and install the rear coilovers. I'm gonna install the fuel tank, and once I do that, then I can put the wheels on it, put it back down, move on to the front, jack it up, because we've got to get to the mechanical side and the steering. We need to get into that because there's not a lot of time left to do it. All right, so let's get straight into it. Let's go. All right, guys, so I've done it. The GKTECH lines are on. These are really good lines, and this fitting here is really nice because you can tighten it up from here as well as holding the other side instead of doing it the other way around. Whereas the original lines, these never turn, so you have to hold it from here and then turn the actual flange, but that was a pain in the ass. But this makes life so much easier. So shout out to GKTECH for that. That's really good. So both lines are on. Now it's time to clean the coilovers. How I'm going to clean the coilovers is with a brush, some wax and grease remover, and a blower. So I'm going to get these looking brand spanker just by doing that. And then I put them back in the car. Then I put the fuel tank in it, and then I can put it back down on the ground. Yeah, can't wait. Let's go. Coilovers are installed. Let's go. Time to put in the tank now and put the tyres on and put it down on the ground. Let's do it. I can't wait. I'm so pumped for this. I've been hanging so long. This has been such a long time coming and I cannot wait for this moment. All right, let's go. All right, guys, this is very exciting. The tyres are on the car, everything's back in, the suspension, everything's ready to go. Now it's time to put it down, and this is the first time it's been on the ground since I put it up on stands months ago. So this is exciting. Let's do it. Let's put it down. Let's go. The suspension knocking back into place. Woo, that was loud. Obviously the suspension's been up for a while, so it's got to settle. I don't know how much more it's going to settle, but like this turned out mad. There's heaps of room here. It might drop a little bit more, but even still, if it drops a little bit more, like that's heaps of room. Oh, I'm so happy about that. I was a little bit concerned. I was like, oh, I hope I cut enough off for the clearance of the rims, because when I put the spacers on them, they're going to come out. And the reason why I haven't got the spacers on now is because they're on the front. So when I change the front spacers to the bigger GKTECH ones that I got, then the front ones that are on there now are going to go on the back. So that's why it's going to come out a little bit. But yeah, I'm so happy about that. That worked out mad. Oh, fuck. Oh, the car's on the ground. Get out. I definitely need a wheel alignment. I got mad toe in here. We are on the ground, people. We are on the ground. Mad. I adjusted the shocks too. So good, man. So good. I forgot how low this car was. Now it's time to jack the front up. So I've got to get the garage ready, move all the stuff that I got in out, make some room. Let's jack the front up and let's get into that. Let's go. All right, guys, welcome back. It's the next day. We've got heaps to do. It's 3.5 days left to this drift day. And the reason why I say half is because I'm starting really late. It's the afternoon. I'm starting late because I had to run around and get parts. I had to get my ball joints pressed in, which I've done that. I had to go to my local super cheap, pick up some bolts. I'll show you what I'm going to do there. I had to pick up some hosing because I want to replace the old hosing that goes from there to the fuel pump hanger. So this is the old stuff. Also, see these old screws? They're the original ones that are in the tank. Now they're old. The threads are gone on them. So I went and got some new ones, but they're too long. So this is the old one, and this is the new one. But obviously, look at the new one. The new one's way too long. So I've got to cut it down to that size. So what I'm going to do is I've just put a nut on one side. Then I'm going to cut it and unscrew the nut, and it gives me a good thread and it gives me the size that I want. So then I've already done one now as a test fit. That's it there. It went in really nice. It's nice and snug. I had to go get an O-ring for the top of the fuel pump hanger because it was so old that it just broke on me and I couldn't fix it. So I went to my local part supplier and I picked up a new one. So that's in there now, which is great, because when it comes to fuel, you can't mess around with it. There can't be any leaks, no pressure leaks, you don't want anything happening with fuel. So let's get into it. We're getting it done right now. We've got heaps to do. Let's go. And there we have it. The new bolts are in, they're nice fit, really nice, and then the new hosing. Time to get on to the next stage. Let's jack the car up, let's do it. Quick tip, guys, when jacking up a car, make sure when you jack it up and you lay it on the stand, try not to take away the jack if you can. If you can't, and you need to move the jack to get underneath to work, fine. But also, when you take the tyres off, put them underneath the car as well as a secondary precaution, because if the stand gives way or, you know, whatever's have you, the car's just going to drop, and if you're underneath, that's not a good thing. So, quick tip for you guys. Safety, number one. Put tyres into the car after you jack it up. All right, guys, check this out. So I've got to take out this frame because I've got those welding plates from GKTECH that weld to the bottom. Okay, so I'm ripping out this, taking out the caster arm, taking out the lower control arm, taking out the coilover, taking out the brake lines. Essentially, I think I'm going to rip out the whole suspension. Is there anything I need to keep in here? I don't know. Actually, I might leave the shock in here for now. I might leave the coilover and the knuckle in here for now, and just take out the lower control arm, undo the sway bar, take out the caster arm, and take out this. All right, but this is first and foremost because I've got to weld these and put these back in. All right, so these are coming out first. Let's go. Guys, check this out. I've got a drama here. So this bolt up here is the last bolt to get the K-frame off. I've taken off the sway bar from here. I've taken it off at the top here. I've taken off, yeah, like just these bolts, but there's one bolt that's here that's not going to come out because it's inside the chassis rail, and what has happened is the nut that's welded to the chassis rail has broken, so it's spinning inside. So now, how am I going to get this out? This is a mission now to get this out. So I'm going to try everything in my power to get it out, which I'm going to get it out because I have to get it out. Yeah, I have to get it out. I was thinking about leaving it in the car and welding it in the car, but I can't. I've got to get it out. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it out and stay with me. Alright guys, I've done it. I've taken off the right side for now. If you have a look here, this is my old caster rod. This is the K-frame that was on the chassis that I had problems with. I managed to get it off by cutting the bolt. I got a reciprocator saw in there and I cut the bolt off, which was great. So now, and this is my lower control arm. Alright, so now what I've got to do is I have to, when I take off the other side, I'm going to do them together, but just to give you a quick rundown. This holds the caster rod, right? This takes a lot of pressure. Over the years, this has been bent, buckled, cracked, whatever else have you. What I'm going to do now is I've got to straighten it up, and then I've got that K-frame kit from GKTECH that I'm going to weld in, and that will reinforce this, which is good because obviously it's 30 years old and you want it to be reinforced. So I'm going to do that after I take off the other side. And this is my lower control arm. This is the old one. I've got the new ones that I'm going to put in, but I'm going to measure them first and have a look to see the difference in the two, and then we're going to go from there. All right. So right now, I've got Drift Mum bringing me coffee. So now I'm going to get started into the left side. I'm going to finish the left side. I'm just going to jump straight to it, and then we're going to get to the LCAs. So let's go. All right, guys. So I've taken out the suspension parts, as you know, but I've gone ahead and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I can't just leave the coilover and the hub there. I've got to take it all out. So I'm going to take it all out now. I just sprayed some WD-40 on it, on the bolts. I sprayed some WD-40 to just loosen them up because they've been on there for so many years that they're a bit stuck. Also, I'm looking at this engine bay and I'm looking at it and I'm going, there's so much I want to change in here, like so much I want to do to clean it up. It's just a bit of a mess at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that definitely. I don't know if I'm going to do it before the track day because I'm not going to have enough time. I've only got, 3 days or whatever it is. All the mechanical side, I'm going to get it done, ready to go for this track day. And then I'm going to address this engine bay later because I can't look at it anymore. There's changes that need to be made here. So I'm going to change some stuff because it's a mess. But these are the parts here so far. And then I've got, these babies to go in and a few other bits and pieces. So stay tuned and we're going to take out the rest of the suspension and then get on to the next stage. Let's go. I've got big dramas with this tie rod end, not the end, the inner tie rod. It's not coming off. It's glued into the rack and it is doing my head in. So I'm trying to work out different ways now. I'm on the wonderful world of YouTube trying to figure out how to get this tie rod off. Oh man. The thing is I need the tie rod. I've got the tie rod ends that I'm replacing, but I need the inner tie rod. So now I'm working out if I can't get this off and I have to cut it off, I have to go get new tie rods tomorrow. Anyway, let's see how we go. Try different techniques. Maybe heat it up. And then we'll go from there. Guys, I've got big dramas with this tie rod, It's not coming off. I swear, I've tried a million things. I've heated it up. I've broke a set of vice grips trying to get it off. Like, what is that? So, my only other option is now, pull the steering rack out. pull the steering rack out. Oh man, that's the only way I'm going to be able to get the tie rods off, and I need to get the tie rods off because I need to put the offset rack spacers on there. So my only option is pull the rack out. Oh, all right, let's do it. No time to waste. Let's go. Guys, we got it off. We got the tie rods off the rack. I am so stoked about that. I had to heat it up so much and then used a pair of vice grips and just went crack and it came off. I'm so happy about that. It's not funny. So look, I was going to use these, right? But I realized that if you have a look, that's bent. Look at the bend here. Straight. Bent. So I can't use it now. Now I've got to go get another pair of inner tie rods. And also the bushings, the rack bushings, like this is the rubbers that sit over, you know, over this and stuff. Look at it. It's torn to shreds. So that's not good for the steering. This one's okay, but it's obviously had it. Obviously it's just old. And it's no good for the steering because the steering would be sloppy. And I felt that over the last few track days. I was like, my steering doesn't feel tight. Anyway, so that's one of the reasons. So now I have to order, not only get new inner tie rods, but I have to get steering rack bushers. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them in time. I should. I'm going to order them tomorrow morning and they should be here by, you know, next day. But all in all, it's all done. The suspension's out. But tomorrow we're going to get into setting up the new suspension and putting it in the car and then put the steering rack back in and get all the suspension ready because I need it all done by tomorrow, if not the latest, the next day. Because then I've only got the third day to put the window in and put the overfenders on and fix the body kit, the rear bar, and then it's the track day the day after. So we're running low on time. It's 3 days left. So, oh, so much work. The garage is a complete mess. But look, you know what? We're gonna get it. We got this. We got this. Don't worry. Anyway, listen, I'm done for tonight. I'll see you on the next one.